In April 2007 in Frederick, Colorado, a frantic child's knock at a neighbor's door revealed a tragic secret that her mother is laying unresponsive in the bathroom with a fatal stab wound to her chest. The case went cold, leaving the family in a painful limbo that stretched on for nearly 18 years. Jessica Beharano was born on January 6, 1982, and lived in the town of Frederick, Colorado. By the age of 25, she was already a wife and a mother. She shared her home with her husband Daryl Berkeland, and together they were raising their two children. On April 6, 2007, a disturbing scene unfolded. Jessica's young daughter, overwhelmed and confused, went to a neighbor's house seeking help. She told the neighbor that her mommy is not waking up. Alarmed by the child's words and sensing something was terribly wrong, the neighbor rushed to the Beharano residence to check on Jessica. Upon entering the house, the neighbor was met with a horrifying sight. Jessica's lifeless body was found in the bathroom, and the reality of the situation quickly became clear. This was not a medical emergency, but a possible crime scene. The neighbor wasted no time and immediately alerted the local authorities. The Frederick police officers quickly responded to the distress call at the 7900 block of Lock Circle. Inside the home, the police confirmed the tragic discovery. Jessica was deceased. She had sustained a single stab wound to the chest, which was the cause of demise. The discovery was made even more devastating by the presence of a 4-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son, who were in the home at the time of the incident. Their safety was secured, but the trauma of what had occurred would not easily fade. An official investigation was promptly launched to determine what had happened to Jessica. The investigators began piecing together a timeline and exploring possible motives. Attention naturally turned to those closest to her, including her husband Daniel. However, through verification of his whereabouts and work records, the authorities were able to confirm that Daniel had been at work during the time of the crime. He was ultimately cleared of suspicion. As time went on, the investigation began to lose momentum. With no suspects, no confessions, and no new evidence coming to light, the case slowly turned cold. After nearly 18 years of silence and uncertainty, a breakthrough finally came in March 2025. The investigators, continuing to work the cold case, obtained DNA evidence that pointed to a potential suspect. The DNA sample was matched to Daryl Berkeland, who had once worked as the maintenance man in the apartment complex where Jessica lived. With the new evidence in hand, the investigators moved swiftly. On March 14th, they conducted a follow-up interview with Berkeland, who was then living in York, Nebraska. Berkeland had been 54 at the time of the crime. Following the interview, Berkeland was taken into custody and arrested. He was booked at the York County Sheriff's Detention Center, marking the first arrest ever made in connection to Jessica's case. In custody, Berkeland confessed. He admitted that he had known Jessica's husband was not at home when he went to her residence. According to his statement, an argument between him and Jessica escalated, ultimately leading to the fatal stabbing. His confession shed light on the events of that tragic day. After the attack, Berkeland fled the scene. He left Colorado and made his way to Nebraska, disposing of the crime weapon along the way. For years, he lived without suspicion, carrying the weight of his crime in silence. In a final gesture, Berkeland wrote a letter addressed to Jessica's children. In it, he expressed remorse for his actions and the pain he had caused. While no words could undo the damage or restore what had been lost, the letter served as an acknowledgement of guilt and a reflection of regret. Berkeland was formally charged with a single count in the second degree. The charge came after his confession and the DNA evidence that linked him directly to the crime. He is set to be extradited to Colorado. Cece Morrow, Jessica's mother, said that she is grateful for the work that led to this arrest, saying that the family never gave up hope. She said, "There were so many twists and turns in her case, but we always had faith in the CBI.